fellow adult collectors. Welcome back. David Eon here with another discussion, and today we are talking about CGC and basically what the hell happened with CGC. And I had this conversation with some dealers at the, Atlanta Comic Con we were at just recently, because they were throwing out some talking points because there's a lot of rumors about it. And you know, they were bought out just recently, bought out by Blackstone Tactical, how did they put it? Tactical Opportunities, or some kind of weird name. It's owned by Jay-Z, and I guess he wants to make it sound cool. And of course, neither Jay-Z nor Blackstone give a crap about comic books or grading. It's just an acquisition. Anyway, back to the point. There's a lot of speculation being kicked around, and I have some experience in manufacturing and in business. As I've pointed out before, I used to work for Frito-Lay, which is owned by PepsiCo, which is owned by Yum Foods International. And you pick up a few things, and I threw this idea out there, and the bulb kind of came on for everybody, and they're like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually. And I'm just going to share it with you. And, of course, this is speculation. I'm not an insider. I don't know anything about what goes on in the boardroom at CGC, at boardroom level, if you get the reference. I know you do. Some other people might not. It's from Are You Being Served? Mr. Rumbold always said that, boardroom level. Anyway, there's been a lot of rumors thrown around. First and foremost, and I'll just get this one out of the way, the most ridiculous rumor I've heard is that they're doing it on purpose because there's such a flood. You know, basically, why has CGC gotten so slow, and why are they making so many mistakes? Which they were already making the mistakes, but now they have a higher volume. Why are they so slow? Because people are sending in so many books that are not worthy of being graded. That doesn't make any sense, and it's not anybody's business. If somebody wants to get something like that graded, if you can see it, okay. And I didn't grade this one. I got this from another person. Somebody sent this to me. But so what? They're a grading company. They don't care about your comics either. They care about providing the service. They'll grade every book you send them, no matter what condition it's in, whether it deserves to be graded or not. I mean, this probably isn't worth more than $50. And so somebody who's like deep into CGC culture would be like, that's a waste. Whatever.
Yeah, what difference does it make? Because they're going to charge you the same price for that book as they would for Superman #1.
So they're not, well, no, the Superman #1, they're going to get you a little better for that. But within the spectrum, it's going to cost the same. Let's just put it that way. But they're in business to make money, and they'll grade all the books they can handle. They don't care. The other one is the old COVID excuse, and that is one that has been getting pounded into the ground for the last 2 years and getting used on services that were already badly provided to begin with. Mistakes were already being made, service already sucked, and now they've got the golden ticket excuse. Oh, it's because of COVID. Okay, that's why you suck. You were already doing this more than 2 years ago, but now it's a huge problem. The other one is shortage of plastic. We can't get enough plastic. Yeah, okay. Sure you can't. Those are all excuses. And they're excuses that are made up by fans of the company. And it's kind of a cult status. And you see this with a lot of companies, not just grading, not just comics, toys, whatever it is. There are people that they're so invested, they wind up being fans of the company rather than of the product or service. Because you can be a company that produces really crappy products. And there's a lot of examples. I don't need to get into it. And there are people that will staunchly defend them no matter how badly they screw it up. And CGC is at that level. There's a cult status on them, and people constantly hammer. I'm not necessarily defending PGX or CBCS, but they will point the finger every time PGX or CBCS makes a mistake. See, that's why I use CGC. But CGC makes the same mistakes and has gotten worse with it. And I just had, as I get on with the discussion here, and I'll get to my point in a moment, this one, which is a recent grading, 7.5, and shouldn't be, and I checked the grader's notes, and it's got errors on the grader's notes that are not on this book. That's the kind of crap I'm talking about. Did you mix my book up with someone else's? Because I sure can't find the flaws that you're talking about. I went over this thing with a magnifying glass, couldn't find what they were talking about. This is misgraded. I've been seeing people in the Facebook groups, they getting books back upside down, backwards, bits of broken plastic inside the case pressing against their book, wrong information on the top, all sorts of things, all the stuff everyone accuses PGX and CBCS of. And then when CGC does it, oh, well, mistakes will happen. You just got to send it back and they'll fix it. Okay. Now that I got that off my chest. And I use CGC, obviously. They do provide a good service, but they also do make mistakes. Don't make the mistake of thinking they don't. And don't put them on a pedestal. Now, they've fallen way behind with record growth in the last couple of years. Whereas PGX and CBCS, although they don't get as many grading contracts as CGC does, have also seen record growth and still are returning books in a timely fashion. Nowadays, if you got, God forbid, a silver or golden age book, you could be waiting 6 months for your book to come back. And heaven forbid you've got a magazine, a comic magazine or something like that you want to send in. Like if you wanted to send in your copy of Heavy Metal or Mad Magazine, or you have issue 4 of Ninja Turtles, you're going to be waiting over 300 days for that to come back. I mean, we're creeping up on a year for magazines. It doesn't make any sense. Now, I pointed out in the beginning of this that they were recently bought out. And I want to say it was it July of last year that Blackstone bought them out or made the deal. And it was before that things started really grinding down. Now, this is a good way to cook your numbers. If you're a company and you're looking to sell, you're looking to be bought out, you keep taking contracts in because people are still going to be sending you books and setting up contracts, whether they take the money from you or not. The promissory on that while they're holding your goods, we're going to hold this box for you. It's been sitting in our warehouse. We haven't even acknowledged receiving it for 2 months, but we have it. And as soon as we're done, you have to pay us. They have all these IOUs, if you will, in layman's terms, from all of these people who sent books in, okay? It's a lot of money, millions and millions of dollars that they know they will be taking in. And Blackstone is looking at this. Then they're looking at the expenses of CGC. How much are things costing you? Well, if they're slowing down, they're not spending as much as they normally would, even though they're taking in more than they have been because they've been seeing record years. And this is why everybody was scratching their head, too. Think about this. If you've got record numbers, why are you raising your rates? Well, the rates have been raised twice now because it's going up again. Second increase within a year because now Blackstone owns them. And Blackstone, now that they've acquired them, is sitting there. And remember, this is just speculation based on my experience with manufacturing and business. Now Blackstone is sitting there and saying, well, there's a problem because they're way behind in production. How are we going to get back on track with production and keep the numbers where they are in the books? They have to hire more people. Well, if we hire more people, some of the biggest expense for any company is employees. We got to hire more people. We're going to make less. This is not what we bought this company for right here. We bought the company for this. This is how much we were told we would be getting. This is how much the books said we would be getting. But if we hire more people, we're going to be here. Well, we need to raise the price. Wasn't enough? Need to raise it again. That's what happened. That's what I believe happened. And like I said, I explained this to some of the dealers when we were having a conversation at the Atlanta Comic Con, and they're like, holy crap, I never thought about it like that. And I wanted to share that with some of the viewers who might be speculating about what the hell is the problem with CGC. They dug themselves into a hole to make themselves look good, and it's going to be very difficult for them to get out of it. It doesn't matter how many new people they hire, they're not going to catch up anytime soon. And they're not going to stop taking contracts. They're not going to sit there and say, you know what, we need to clean this up, so we're going to freeze taking new contracts for a month just so that we can get caught up on these back orders, and then we'll be back in production. That is not going to happen. That should happen because they should be willing to clean themselves up for their consumer base, but it won't happen because they don't want to stop bringing that money in. I don't know. You have any thoughts on it? I know you're not a big comic person. She buys a lot of omnibus, but not comics necessarily.
No, I mean, I don't really know how the process worked to really say anything. I mean, I don't know. 'Cause
it's okay.
I mean, I really don't know how. But no, I don't really know how the process worked. I never even heard of CGC until we got together. You started pulling out your books, and I know I've watched you go through books. You showed me a video and how the people are just ripping through the books real quick.
Yeah, that was very disturbing last year. I think it was last year, wasn't it? And they showed the CGC grader, and he was tearing through the Superman book and damaged it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how long should, if things are going great, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, how long should it take from the time they receive the book to them shipping it back to you?
If it's from after 1975, it shouldn't take more than a month.
Why does the year matter?
It's got to be looked at in a different way. They have it divided into two basic categories. I think CGC has it divided in 1975. I think CBCS and PGX might do it a little differently, but 75 to present considered modern, and then pre-1975, silver and golden age, and tail end of bronze. Is that right? Is considered a different category. They look at it differently, and they separate it differently, and it's a different price for it too. If it's pre-1975, it's going to cost more to get graded. So they've got it split like that. That's
annoying.
Yeah, well, and the silver and gold age is going to take a little bit longer, but not that much longer.
Well, how long should it take?
I don't think it should take more than 2 months for your book to get back.
2 months.
Yeah. I know, but PGX will have it back in like 40 days, even now.
I thought you was going to say about 2 weeks.
No. You can fast track it, but that's like an extra $15 a book. Oh. And it's like, and there are people that will do that, but in my experience, most of the people that do that, they're doing it because they're planning on selling the book and they want it back as fast as they can get it. But I don't sell graded books very often. Most of the time, I'm keeping them or I'm doing a rotation. But they have fallen so far behind that we've gone from like up to 60 days to up to 6 months.
Is this a home service? Is this something you can do from home?
You can't grade the book yourself.
No. Like if you work for CGC, can you do work from home?
No, they have a facility.
Oh, you got to go in?
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you consider that some of the stuff that you send in is worth thousands.
Yeah, you kind of want
they don't want to send it to people's houses. They don't want to subcontract. They need to keep it in their facility.
Yeah, under lock and key.
Yeah, I would hope so.
I don't know. I never thought about it. I never even considered getting a book graded. I don't think I would. I don't buy the books like that anyway.
Yeah, she buys omnibus.
But
you have a couple of graded books.
Yeah, because you bought them, but not because I searched them out. But I don't know. That just sounds ridiculous that it even takes 40 days. I guess when you look at the volume, the amount of books, but I don't I don't understand why is not one standard price to look at a book. And why do you have to look at it different because it's this year versus that year?
Because people will pay for it.
Yeah, I guess. I don't
Because
know. That's
people
just
will
a
pay
bit
for
much
it.
for me. To me.
That's the bottom line. If someone's willing to pay for it,
All right, go ahead.
that's what's going to happen. I mean, there's a little bit more to it than that, but you know, that's the bottom line. It's because somebody's willing to pay for it. Anyways, thoughts, guys? What do you think about all of that? Feel free to post your thoughts in the comment section down below. Please do give the video a thumbs up if you got something out of it. I hope you did. And again, like I said, it's just speculation based on my own experience, but it makes a lot more sense than we don't have enough plastic and people were sick, or, you know, they got too many books that don't deserve to be graded. Those responses, I'm just not buying that.
Yeah, that's a pretty lame. I mean, a book is a book. Who cares? As long as they get their money, they
And
don't
that's
care.
how they look at it. It's a grading service. Send them everything you got. They don't care as long as it's paid for. They'll put it, they'll encapsulate it and mail it back. But again, the guys, feel free to post your thoughts in the comment section down below. And don't think I'm hating on CGC, because like I said, I use the service myself. But again, a lot of the reasons, explanations that I've heard getting tossed around just didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So if that's it, then what more can I say? But thanks for watching, and we will see you again soon.